Special thanks to all our patrons who support the show every single week. Patrons, you keep the Run, Eat, Drink podcast going, and we're so grateful for all the support you give and the community that you've helped us to build. Not a patron yet? Join us today. Head over to patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast or buymeacoffee.com/runeatdrinkpod and subscribe for bonus content, social media shoutouts, and much more. Help support our show by using our Amazon affiliate link anytime you shop on Amazon for running gear, food, beverages, or anything else the little gray trucks might bring your way. Just use runeatdrink.net/Amazon anytime you shop. There's no additional cost. It's just one bonus click to help us keep the lights on and the bandwidth flowing. Go to runeatdrink.net/Amazon. And we thank you for your support.
This is Miss Brooklyn.
Hi, Brooklyn. It's nice to meet you.
My friend Amy.
Have you ever been on a podcast before? No? You are now. Do you want to say welcome, Runcation Nation?
Runcation Nation.
Welcome, Runcation Nation.
Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country. And after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. Welcome to the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We feature destination races from across the country. And after the race, we take you on a tour of the best local food and beverage to celebrate. So whether you are an elite runner or a back of the packer like us, you'll know the best places to accomplish, explore, and indulge on your next runcation. Hey, welcome to episode 302 of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. I'm your host, Amy, flying without my co-host. What can I say? He has a day job. He has an injury. He has important places to be. He's a man about town. Look for him to return and share fabulous food and beverage from his travels, coming to a Run, Eat, Drink podcast feed soon, anywhere you get your podcasts. In the meantime, welcome, and a shout out to everybody who has been so patient with us over the last couple of months while we had put the recordings on pause, and we're back. What can we say except we are so happy to be back? I am looking forward to accomplishing, exploring, and indulging with you all, especially after spending a couple of hours with Jessie and Eric, who are back to recap the Big Beach Marathon Weekend 2025. This is part 2 of their Runcation recap. Let me rewind before race days. What about carb loading options and food options that you partook, that you ate before the race?
When we first got there, we went to Doc's Seafood and Steak in Orange Beach.
Doc's Seafood and Steak.
Yes, and okay. I have the link in that, which I'll send you because I wanted to make sure I had all the good food places that we went to.
We're all about it.
I personally had, along with Susie and Dawn, the three of us, we had their Alabama crab cakes.
Ooh.
They were the best crab cakes I have ever had. The meat was plentiful. Oh, yeah. The breading was limited. It had flavor, and you get 3 really big ones. I ate 2, and I took one back to the hotel, which I ate the next day cold, and it was yummy.
Ooh, you had a refrigerator in your room?
Yes, ma'am. We did.
Great. Did you have the crab cakes too, Eric?
I had fried clams, fish, hush puppies, and French fries.
A lot of people will worry about having seafood before races, but it sounds like you all did not worry about it.
No, it's always generally my go-to meal for pre-race is grilled salmon with a sweet potato and then either broccoli or green beans. That's
Carbs,
usually
lean
what goes in.
protein. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when I saw crab cakes, I was like, oh.
They're good if they're done right, and that crab to breading ratio.
Oh, definitely way more crab, little breading.
And big chunks of crab.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Slivers.
And right
then
on the beach.
A little one-man band there too. This guy was singing some great songs. So it was like fun, open atmosphere.
Yep.
Aw. Did it have a patio and indoor, outdoor seating? Was it?
Outdoor, that one.
Yeah, it was, but because it was a little nippy, you know, like Ford's Garage has those bay doors.
Oh, that you can roll up.
They had the bay doors closed.
Oh.
It's 29 degrees.
It wasn't that cold yet.
We woke up to 29. It was probably in the 40s.
Still, for Florida people.
Cold.
Yeah. So you had seafood pre-race. Was that before the 7K?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first night. It was Friday night.
The 7K was on Saturday, and it was through the park.
The nice thing about the 7K is you walk out of the hotel and you walk over the little bridge that goes across the main road, and the start is right there.
Like towards the beach?
On the opposite side.
On the opposite side. Okay.
It's on the opposite side. So
Got
you
it.
got beach, lodge, parking lot, and you just walk right over the thing, and there's the start. And so it started in a little park, and then part of it went through a small section of the state park.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a tiny little preview of what you were going to see for the half.
But it wasn't just a shorter part of the half, but you got to see some different things than you did on Sunday.
It started out in that there's like a little playground type park.
Mm-hmm. Like a recreational facility for
because it had a little theater, like a little
outdoor amphitheater.
It's a small section because the MC they had, oh my goodness, she had so much energy.
She was awesome.
I mean, she was fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh.
So there was a couple that had on blow-up flamingo costumes.
For the 7K?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was cool though, and they got their own special.
They were so
thing.
cute, and I don't know if they had an award for best costume or if she just made it up. I have a feeling she just made it up, but they were so cute that she called them up to the stage and she said, "I'm giving you a $50 gift card or $25 gift card or whatever it was. I don't remember the nomination to the hangout." She goes, "But you guys definitely have best costume."
Now the hangout is the premier sponsor and partner for the race.
Yeah. And that's
on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Cool place. Super cool place.
Super cool. Very beachy. Very
definitely beachy.
Laid back.
She was funny. She's like, "Okay, so I have these keys that somebody might need
to drive their car."
She goes, "And I have this sweater. Now, if you meant to throw it away," she goes, "That's fine. We'll donate it."
This is the race announcer.
Yeah, the MC. She's cute. So at the hangout on the day of marathon and half marathon, she's up on the table with her microphone going, "All right, who's up here ready to run?" And she was just like,
"Aw."
You almost got me.
That's always good to have that energy at the start of a race.
Oh, so much energy.
And she definitely was pumping people up.
Oh, yeah.
So did she pump you up for your first 7K?
Absolutely.
She was just very high spirited.
Yeah.
100%. If you walked in feeling not so pumped, she was definitely going to add a little touch to you.
You were sad when you left that place. You definitely had a problem.
I didn't see one sad face leave that place.
So that race started about 7 a.m.?
Yeah,
and the longer races were earlier. The next day.
Yes, that was the one thing I didn't write down.
It stands to reason because it's not a long distance and nobody was worried about time. It was like a run. Yeah. Were there strollers? Were there dogs? What was the course like?
Probably a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So for the 7K, you went through the park and there were some boardwalk areas and some trail area, but paved with the foliage.
Mm-hmm.
For the half marathon and the marathon, you start out by the hangout. Behind the hangout, beach side, you start off, so you got that beautiful sunrise right before the start. And then you run along the beach just for a little bit. You come out around the other side of the building, and then you run down the main road. They got the main road blocked off. Run down the main road for, I don't know, mile. And then you turn off and take the entrance into the state park. Now, when you're in the state park, there are pathways. You know what it looked like to me, Amy? It looked like at some point there was a road through there.
Mm-hmm.
They chopped up the road in winding fashion to make a pathway because you could see the yellow markings. So it was cool. It was all paved.
It was nice and safe and you felt stable. It wasn't like a trail run where you had to worry about tree branches and roots.
Trail run is definitely a totally different course.
No, obviously you need to be careful if you were like, say your intervals and we put up our hand and we move over, make sure you watch your footing on the edge because every now and then there might be the edging because of the way that the road was cut.
Okay.
But you had open areas, like I said, where I say it was like prairie, maybe marshland.
Okay.
And then walks where, you can see the water and you can see the water towers and it's just beautiful surroundings.
So then you crossed the finish line for the 7K. And what was that after party like?
That was really just a matter of everybody gathering. So you finished, you had the MC making jokes and announcing people and
music.
And then she went through, you had your general snacks like you would do after a run, the oranges and electrolytes and some cereal bars and such.
Nice.
And then they went through the awards. And basically you had your drink tickets that you had on your bib for your 2 beers. Yes.
You saved the tickets. You don't get them that you have to come back to the.
It's the next day.
You go to the marathon and the half marathon, and that's when you can reveal your tickets. So we got 8 beers on Sunday that we took with us.
Each participant gets 2 beers on Sunday for the 7K and 2 beers for either the half or the full.
If you've got a bib for whatever race you run, there are 2 tickets each. So
got it.
We had
8.
We did not drink them all at once.
That's good because
we gifted 2 to you.
Because you have to, after you have a race, Jeff says get some good carbs and good protein and not necessarily take all the carbs in liquid form. I would imagine his recommendation would be because he's against puking. Our coach. And after you run, if you haven't eaten anything, do you eat anything before a race when you all run?
I do.
Yeah.
I have to have something. He doesn't. I need my English muffin with peanut butter and honey, or I need a good solid protein bar. I need a carb. I need my banana and I need a bread of some sort. Whether that be a half a bagel or oatmeal. I like the Kodiak. I have to have peanut butter crackers. I have to have some carbs with a little bit of sweet, a little bit of protein.
I don't eat before the race.
The one thing that he's eaten is the Nature Valley protein with the caramel on the bottom. He'll eat one of those.
I will eat a banana.
A banana? For sure. Yeah. For sure. No, you okay?
Yeah.
You're good?
She's making sure.
Okay. So we've talked about the 7K and Saturday. What medal did you get for the 7K?
So the 7K, because they have their little zoo area.
It's cool.
Because it was like a safari day. So everybody who is watching the video out in patron land can see that it's like the big beach safari because that's what they branded the race. And you can see is all the different colors like yellow and orange and brown.
There's a rhinoceros, a lion, an elephant.
They actually use sand to make the ground.
Where's the sand?
Like in the bottom.
Oh, look.
He's in.
Wow.
You did a really nice job.
I have the 7K shirt.
Oh, what's the shirt like? Yes. That you picked up at the expo. Oh, look at this. It's yellow. And then it's got all of the safari theme and it's got big beach.
And then on the bottom, there's your beach.
Oh, and the water lake. And you have wildlife on the back. The back is actually utilized too. It's the sponsors and it's the art.
It's on top. Because they have the zoo. See the Alabama Gulf Coast, why it's safari themed.
And did you find that they were true to size for people who are signing up and having to pick their sizes when they register?
Yes, because this one is a medium.
And that's what you normally do.
Yes, it was perfect. And I like the neckline is it's a V.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a true V, but it's a V, so it's comfortable. Like
for the women's, and it's a short sleeve for anybody who's listening.
And the men's is typical round.
Yeah,
it's like just the round neck, not the V, and short sleeves, same design.
Yes.
And it's soft.
It is soft.
It's very, very soft.
And it's very breathable.
So comfy. Yeah, and breathable.
Oh, okay. It looks awesome. And then the men's sizes, it fit pretty well, true to size for you.
I wear large, and yeah, it fit very well.
So let me then take you chronologically to the pre-race meal. So for the half, where did you go the night before?
But then after the 7K, we all rested a little bit, got our shower, and we decided to go to the Flora-Bama restaurant. So, of course, it's at the Florida-Alabama line. Back in the day, it was just a package store, and now they've got the package store and gift shop area, and then they've got a separate bar and grill area. It's just fun. We ate a little bit later, and we ate big, kind of full.
We definitely indulged heavily.
So we
indulged, very on brand.
When we went there, I got the Cajun shrimp po' boy.
Carbs and protein in the form of a sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah.
With French fries.
Also.
Then we had some fun drinks.
Did you have a bushwhacker, Nikki? You talked about that being a thing in the area, and I was like,
I had a bushwhacker down in Key West.
oh, okay. So you were like, nah.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm looking for the bourbon drink.
You're looking for the what?
I was looking for bourbon, Amy.
Oh, you were looking for bourbon because you all have recently taken up the hobby of being bourbon connoisseurs.
Yes.
Yes.
I let him think about his lunch.
It was a lot.
Was it good?
I was looking at a burger.
So it wasn't your typical spaghetti carb loading pre-race kind of dinner.
No.
Okay.
We did that.
Yeah, we were pretty.
We did that later because we did it at the hotel.
Oh, you ate at the hotel?
Yeah. All right. No.
It was the pizza place.
It was. So
something was delivered to you.
At the hotel, yeah.
All right. So here.
Well.
Oh, tell us more. Okay. Because sometimes you want to get to bed early. And so eating dinner at the hotel can be good.
So, yeah. So that's Jojo was our Uber.
She was our Uber Eats that night.
She was our Uber Eats.
Did you tip her well is what we want to know.
Yes, we did.
Okay, good.
She volunteered and we're like, okay.
Because
So anyway,
we needed to
go back
tip her in Atlanta. She was our driver for all things in Atlanta.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
she's great.
So at Flora-Bama's, we had the hickory smoked tuna dip. Delicious because it had a
Very
nice
delicious.
amount of smoke to it.
Love
It
smoked
was
fish dip.
Really yummy. And the drink, he had his Bloody Mary.
I like Bloody Marys. Especially
Oh.
ones in Sundays.
Oh, shout out to Colin and Annie.
They
Sunday's
have-
Bloodies.
They are the best. Hands down, the best.
So I had
Spicy only.
Spicy is the only way to go for you, Eric.
So when the girls were talking about the Bloody Marys, Dawn's, and I said, let me tell you something. I don't like V8 and I'm not a fan of Bloody Marys. I have fallen in love, Colin and Annie. Sorry.
Dawkins. Yes.
They're spicy. However, they blend that freaking jar of goodness.
Right?
Flavor profile is just out of this world.
They're
There's
fabulous.
So much flavor there, and the spice, like you don't need. They're like, oh, what did you add to it?
Nothing.
Vodka.
That's it. That's all you need because it's a mix. It doesn't come with that. You add it and then it's a party.
Oh, it is so freaking good.
It's a party.
Anyways, we had the Flora-Bamas, and their signature Bloody Mary was good. It was on Sundays, but it was good. But I had the Big Easy. And the Big Easy was Buffalo Trace Bourbon,
Ooh.
Southern Comfort,
Oh.
passion fruit syrup, orange juice, lemon juice, and a splash of grenadine.
Citrusy sweet.
But I
Smoky.
asked them to hold back on the sweet, like sweet, but I wanted to taste the profile. So the syrup was probably half of what they normally put. And it was nicely balanced.
What was this restaurant called?
So
Flora-Bama.
Flora-Bama. Because you're in the Florida-Alabama
Line.
literally.
And it sounds like they customized the drink to your liking.
They did. Because I told them I wasn't crazy about the sweets. I said, if you could just back off on the syrup a little bit. I said, I want the bourbon, but I wanted to try your specialty. So I don't want to take away any of the elements, but just if you could back off the sweet a little bit for me.
Nice.
Our server was just fun. She was really fun. Younger girl and just fun.
Good.
And it's kind of neat because it looked like all of them, like they all had the old school waitress check pads.
Huh?
They all had the personalized like little notebooks. Like hers was like blingy.
Oh, it's like have y'all seen Office Space? Oh, there's a restaurant in there where it's all a riff on TGI Fridays. How much flair can you have? It's like, how many buttons and things can you have? If you know about Office Space in the audience, you can say, yes, Amy, I know what you're talking about. It sounds like you had an amazing pre-race meal there. Was it too far from the hotel and the race location?
No, it was 5 miles.
We could have run there.
A good pre-race run. Warm up the legs. He is a newbie. He's the kind of newbie that's going to do a warm-up run before the 13 miles.
When you come on, there's this hook before you get down, like what I call like the strip.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's on the strip.
Okay.
It's not that far at all.
So it's good.
6 minutes, 5 minutes. It wasn't that far at all. And it was fun. The atmosphere was fun. The food was great. We all had different things.
And the company was
JoJo and
good.
Susie or Dawn took dessert back to the hotel.
What kind of dessert do you remember?
Yeah, cheesecake. Yeah.
Ooh. That's good.
But
JoJo was definitely about the cheesecake.
Dawn got a little miffed because her honey might have dabbled into her cheesecake a bit.
Oh, sharing is caring, Dawn.
It was a cool place though too. 'Cause
Yeah.
anybody and everybody that has probably ever been to that establishment has also signed the building. Signed the building inside and out.
Like with a Sharpie on the wall?
Sharpie, pen, whatever you may have on your hand or your person. They have
Really?
signed
The walls are fun.
Yeah, the walls are.
So you all signed the wall somewhere?
No.
We didn't.
We were too busy just talking and cackling and having a grand old time. And before you know, like, oh, I guess we ought to go.
Oh, so it was one of those meals where you had great food, great beverages, great service, and made memories, caught up with each other and relaxed.
So in the part 2 of the basket that I dropped off,
Mm-hmm.
little sticker that is in between,
Uh-huh.
that is a Bloody Mary sticker from Flora-Bama.
Yep.
Yes.
There we go. For people who are watching, for our
And
patrons and supporters of the show. Thank you for bringing that back.
I figured it was the drink. I was looking at all their stickers and I'm like, oh, well, this is a drink one, so we can bring that one. I mean,
Thank you.
We all have a Sunday sticker, but we had to have a Flora-Bama sticker.
Of course. What we do with all those stickers is we put them on our luggage so they go with us on all our runcations.
Mine's on my cooler.
See, it's perfect.
When we got back to the hotel Friday, me, Dawn, and Eric went to the expo to get our packets. But the girls couldn't get theirs until Saturday.
They
So
couldn't?
No.
Because they got there too late or?
No, but I think also that they had the 7K. It was a 7K pickup only, 7K and the challenge.
Oh, so they did that to manage the traffic and manage the crowds.
Yes.
I see. Okay. That's fair.
So Saturday afternoon, we went back and did the expo again. And that's when the vendor was there. So the vendor wasn't there the first night. They just had the backdrop and the shark or the dolphin or whatever. But the vendor got there Friday late, so that Saturday was fully open for everybody that came. Because a lot of people were there for the half marathon.
Yeah. Or the marathon. Yeah.
We went back and did that with them. And then when we all started, we're not really hungry to go to a restaurant. We were watching our budget a little bit. So they were like, what's that pizza place? We saw 2-3 pizza places on the way. And we picked, it was Rotolos, which I have too. I'll send you the link. Yeah,
okay.
Rotolos. Rotolos. It was not far from the lodge either. And we all gave we all text our orders to JoJo and Zelled her money, and our Uber Eats girl picked it up.
She is the planner, organizer, and the one who executes all plans. JoJo, you're amazing.
She was the mother hen of the weekend.
She took care of everybody.
She was our mother hen. When you walk into the lodge, there's a little coffee shop area. But they've got this long wooden table. We commandeered the table. I had one of their specialty pizzas, which had like Gruyere cheese and cranberries and arugula and caramelized onions, and it was delicious. JoJo and Susie went for the spaghetti and the meatballs. That was their
traditional carb loading. They're probably let's not do anything new before a big race.
I'm trying to remember what Dawn had. We had some crazy calzone.
With a jalapeno popper calzone.
It was good.
Good.
Probably like ricotta and cream.
Oh.
It was ricotta and.
Because I told him, like, now, honey, this is your first half marathon. I don't know, because we do spice all the time. I'm like, I don't know that you want to do too much spice. It actually was done nicely. It wasn't overbearing. It was flavored.
Yeah.
You could still taste the cheese and the bread, and it wasn't just your mouth on fire.
No, and he was fine because we were worried, but it was delicious. So I give him half mine.
We always share food.
So that's what we did before the race.
So that's good. And
we had a nice calm atmosphere in the lodge where we just hung out. And then I got up from the table and the little barista was right there, and I got my little fun little coffee drink.
Oh, that's so great. A lot of carb loading and camaraderie. Yeah.
We were down there for a long time. You're talking collectively, and then you're side conversationing, and then you're switching partners with conversations across.
Did you go to bed early or late?
No.
Yeah?
I mean, average. I wouldn't say it was early, but I wouldn't say it was late.
Yeah, no.
But you didn't have a Disney-esque kind of wake up. It wasn't like a 3 a.m. kind of wake up because you were close to the start. And
hangouts, 2 miles down the road.
So did you end up walking there? Were there shuttles when you got up in the morning? What was that like for the big race day?
So they had shuttles that they had announced, and you book the shuttle to go. And
you book it.
They said book it, but I think people walked up and just.
But you all actually booked it, though, is what I hear Eric saying.
What was that?
I hear you saying that we did what we needed to do and we booked the shuttle.
No, because I'd been before and I knew where they were going to drop off. And
you drove?
After the race, we were going to have to boogie because we had a 10-hour drive home because we left right after the race.
That's right.
We left a little bit earlier than the girls and got a prime parking spot. Like the last 2 years, we wiggled our way in, maybe what we shouldn't have been, and got a parking spot. But this year they had parking across the street from the hangout that was free.
Worked out perfect.
And because we got there super early, we literally were like the third car into the parking lot. I like that they opened up that area because it made it very convenient for those that did want to drive.
Yep.
But
your tip is go early if you are driving.
Long after
it didn't take long.
They just started filling up fast.
And what time did you arrive at the parking lot, just to give people a frame of reference?
Was it 6:30? 6:30. I was up at
5.
I like to get motivated, get moving, have my coffee. He
I
doesn't
don't
do
drink
coffee. He makes me coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
JoJo doesn't drink coffee either.
I
Do you do tea? What do you do in the morning then?
Energy drink.
An energy drink. Okay, fair enough. To each his or her own.
Correct.
Yes. So you got up around 5:30, got moving, got your beverage of choice because it's what everybody works. Don't do anything new on race day. And then you parked. Did the girls take the shuttle?
They did.
And you all had no problem finding each other and heading to the start?
Oh, gosh, no. The hangout is just
right there.
It's not like Disney where you're trying through the plethora of people to find anybody. We were inside. We text each other and we're like, we're inside. We're at a table. And we just kind of met up. People, they're either in the hangout or they are on the beach at that amazing sunrise.
Good.
The backdrop for the beginning of the race is just absolutely beautiful. We got some cute pictures of us kissing on the beach.
Oh, so you all found each other. You got some great pictures at the start. I'm sure there was a lot of. Were you excited for your first race there?
I was excited, and she's always. You nervous at all? No, I don't get nervous.
More excitement than anything else.
I'll definitely get excited because it was a longer race and the longest run I've ever done. Even that much more excited. Plus, I was doing a challenge before doing the run. Plus, the half marathon. I was excited. Plus, I get to be with my honey on the beach.
You got to meet some of my amazing friends.
Meeting the girls was definitely a pleasure.
He's talked to them on the phone because when we were at Gasparilla, when I finished the race, I had him on speakerphone. JoJo, Susie, and Darlene and Dawn all had heard his voice from Gasparilla. So this was neat for them to get to meet Eric. Like, oh, you're the one putting the smile on her face now.
You all were there together. And how was it lining up at the start? Did you line up by pace, or what was the situation there?
General running etiquette. If you're fast, go to the front. If you're a little slower, middle to the back, where you feel comfortable. Race etiquette. And
Good.
everybody was so polite and so easy.
And
there were pacers, yeah.
And they were easily spotted in the crowd.
Oh, yeah, bright fluorescent yellow shirts, so you couldn't miss them.
I remember Nikki talking about that on the other episode. What was the start like for you all? You were maybe mid to the back of is that where
Yeah, essentially. I wasn't sure how he wanted to be it. And we wanted to stick with the girls in the beginning because we wanted to run that first little bit until we got into the park together.
Mm-hmm. So you all
wow.
stayed together for the first, mile or two?
Yeah, I want to say it was about a mile.
And how was that all together?
Oh, it was so much fun. I got some great little photos of everybody laughing. I was in front of them, I was in the middle of them. We were just cutting up.
And from what I understand, Susie had Darlene's bib.
She did. So she had emailed the race director and explained everything and asked if she could have her bib and if she could pick it up. And she did. She wrote on the bib and she had it pinned on her back. So
Darlene was with you all.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we took pictures right in the beginning of the race. And then when we finished, we got our Bloody Marys, which was Darlene's favorite post-race drink. And we got a picture of the Bloody Marys next to her bib with the 50 States logo on the back of Susie's tank top.
Oh, so, fantastic.
And the director that took the call was right behind us in the line while we were taking the pictures of the bib with the Bloody Marys.
She's like, oh, so you're Susie. Yeah, so we got to meet them, which was really nice. And her husband, oh my God, what a card. He just was so funny.
Oh, so great.
There were 5,000 plus people at that race. It was a high number.
It was a high number. And I should have written that down. I'm sorry.
I want to say it was 5,000.
No. If people go back and listen to that episode with Nikki, they'll know.
Hey, I remember that name. I took your call or your email.
That's so great.
And then they had a similar experience of the same thing where they had somebody who had passed and they wore their bib. So that director had the same thing happen. A close friend of hers had passed and she was able to run with that person's bib. So she had no problem giving that to,
It's so nice when somebody understands and has that empathy, and I'm telling you, it's the running community.
Such compassion and just informal,
sweet people
sharing tips and just
all around.
Yeah. So you all stayed together for the first part of the race.
The first mile until we turned off to go into the park.
And so it was on the road, and then you turned off into the park after a couple of miles. About a mile. And that was the terrain that the 7K shared with the half. Is that right? No, it was a different portion of the park.
Because you got to remember the 7K started right across the street from the lodge. We're a couple of miles down from the lodge at the hangout on the beach. So we were on the road. Police had marked it off until we turned into where the state park, there was an entrance in the state park.
So it was a different part of the park.
Different. Yes, it was a tail end part where we actually came up to a start.
Okay. So you got into the park that way. And how long were you in the park?
For the 7K?
For the half.
The whole race.
Yeah. It was the remainder of the race.
The remainder of the race.
Yeah. So 12 miles.
So how was it?
Nice.
Shady or sunny, shady?
Yes. All the above. Correct. Because you had foliage over you in some parts, and in some parts where you were on the boardwalk, it was fully open. So you had full elements and sun. But it was beautiful because you had the shade when you needed it. You had the sun when you wanted to get warmed up a little bit.
Yep.
There was one little sidewalk, but it wasn't sidewalk. It was asphalt. When I say sidewalk, I meant width-wise alongside a street that you were on for just a short period of time.
How were the water and nutrition stops?
There was only, I think.
You saw 3?
But we didn't use them.
You carried your stuff.
Right. Yeah. And that's probably why I don't remember exactly where they were, because
one it was at mile 10.
Oh, okay.
One was mile 5. And the last one was just before we exited that RV park.
There is one area where you come off the boardwalk and it goes into this RV camping area. Yeah. So the RVs are in their little cul-de-sac areas and they're drinking their coffee and hey, y'all,
They're cheering us on as we're
cheering
running
on and
by.
everything.
Oh, that's good. Like at the Donna.
Cool.
Yeah.
Or just, hey, we get to see people running.
It's just water and Gatorade electrolyte kind of thing. Yep. On the website, there are maps that they show exactly for which race, where water stops are, and for the marathon, if it's a medic or whatever. So there are very nice maps out there that tell you exactly where all those stops are. I carry everything with me detailed.
I understand that. Different people have different routines for races, and you develop it over. I imagine that since you all were together, that Eric, your routine for this race mimicked what Jessie did.
Yeah.
In terms of carrying.
Of it, on our first training run, when I had nutrition, I would have half and then share half with him so he could see how it felt and what his body felt like. So for the half marathon, I was like, okay, so general rule of thumb is either every 30 minutes or every 3 miles, depending on how your body is. You got to listen to your body. I said, this is one thing that I've learned is you can't get it back.
You can't play catch up.
You can't play catch up. And so you don't want to get in that situation.
Awful.
I mapped it out for every 3 miles. I said, here are your packets. You take them when you feel you need them.
Sure.
You only need 2. Maybe you only need 1.
Because I know my body and it will speak.
And
they do. Our bodies talk to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was taking mine before his.
I was probably about every 3 miles.
So you all pretty well had timed out your nutrition, your hydration, and you were pretty much responsible for that. But if you want to listen to what Nikki had to say about the water and nutrition on the course, if you want to, if you're the kind of person that like, yeah, I'm just going to go out and I'm not going to carry anything with me and I'm just going to rely on the water steps, then you'll know what to expect there. But yeah.
You described that very well. And it is mapped out very well. From when I did my marathon, I was very much a part of where are they? Because I carry my water with me because I want to drink my water when I want it. It was important for me during the marathon because I knew when it was coming. I'd unscrew my cap. So when I got there, I would pour in my bottle so I could keep going and then have it when I wanted to. So for a longer race for me, that's really important. For a half marathon and under, I don't pay that much attention to it because I'm
self-supporting.
But there's a lot of elite runners and other runners that don't want to carry. That information is helpful. And she was very informative in the podcast she did with you. It's very well written out in what they post on the website too. They're very thorough.
Big Beaches, a race that is well planned, executed, and you could definitely run for a PR, or if you're trying to run for a proof of time for a different race, like one of the bigger races, or trying to get a proof of time for a corral placement in other races, it might be a good opportunity. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I would. Because whether you're in the front or you're in the middle of the pack, once you start out, then you start thinning a little bit. There's plenty of room to then pick up your pace. Every race, there's a lot going on when you first start. Then it starts spreading out.
People settle into their groove and with their groups, and you felt.
And the paths are wide enough that you can pass and go how you wish, how you can.
Okay.
Certain areas, there's only certain areas that are narrow.
Where you have congestion?
No, where you're actually running through. There's a couple areas that are a little narrow, a couple people, but they're short.
Okay. So
if you wanted to gain or pick off people, that person up there in the pink tank, it's my goal to
catch that person or
you're
stay with them.
Space to do that.
Good.
If you set a goal, you could absolutely accomplish it.
So let me ask you about the finish and what that was like for you. You reached your goal of a half marathon, Eric. What was going through your mind as you were finishing?
Can't believe I actually did it.
You had doubts?
No, I not really doubted myself. I always told myself I could do it, but then to actually do it and going across the finish line, I've done it. It's been accomplished. Not being an avid runner for only a year, 5Ks and 1 10K.
You come off the main road, so out of the park, and you go back over one of them walking bridges.
Like a
over
little
the-
overpass, but it's a walking bridge.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So that incline at the end, you're like, oh, good God.
Is it going to do me in?
You get over the bridge and it lets you off literally when you're coming off that last bridge. The lodge is right here.
Great.
So then you're running down to the hangout. They've blocked off part of the road.
Mhm.
You're on the road, on the sidewalk, wherever you want to be, down to the hangout. Just before the hangout, you're veering around the beach boardwalk. You're around that corner and you start hearing everybody.
Everybody's chanting.
And you hear just that crowd and they're yelling your name and your number and everything. And that's when you get that little boost. And they got the most perfect picture of us crossing the finish line. It was just absolutely amazing. And you cross the finish line and they're giving you your medal. And then they're like, okay, you got the challenge because your bibs are different.
Mhm.
And you just walk over to the table and she gives you the little hanging thing that goes on the bottom of your medal.
Oh, just show us.
So,
Yeah. Show us so we can describe it. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to tell me about so here's the top part, up or down.
Okay. So it says 10. Is
Because
that
this year was the 10th year anniversary of Big Beach.
so? It's 10 and it's got stained glass and palm trees and it says the Big Beach half marathon and it's gorgeous.
Like really pretty. And it's bigger than my previous medals. But it is really, and again, it has the sand around it. And like you said, it's got the little stained glass in it. So it's pretty in the sun. And then the dolphin challenge hangs off the bottom of it. And it's got the dolphin.
So you have the extra medal that attaches to your half marathon medal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
And then the 7K, it could all hang together. Look at this trio of medals here. Who wouldn't want to go for that? And what is the half marathon? Now, what were you grabbing there to show us?
So this was 2022's medal. And
Stained
the whole
glass,
medal
yeah.
is beautiful.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And then this was 2023. Again, it's got the sand and a little bit of the stained.
Ah,
This
so
year, it was the 10-year anniversary, so they went big on the medals.
oh, it was gorgeous. I love that.
But all three medals for all 3 years that I went
Are beautiful. The stained glass, the sand elements, those are awesome. The fact that the challenge medal connects to your bigger race
I
medal,
thought that was really cool.
super cool.
See on the bottom of this one, if I had done.
You have to do the challenge. You can't leave those rings absent anymore. Now I know why. I know what I need to do.
Into a fourth year, and we'll do the shark challenge.
Ooh.
So here's
Did you hear him? Wait a minute now. Did you hear him commit?
Right past that.
She
You
just
see that?
closed her ear off to that.
I just skidded right past
Did-
that.
Did you? Eric, I have it on recording. Anyway, let's talk about the shirt, Jess.
So it's beautiful. I love the fact that they got the shoe print, like if you're stepping in the sand.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then it's got the beautiful sky blue colors and then the yellow.
The
for,
yellow, the
sand,
sun, and
palm
sand.
trees, the sun. And then the same, it wraps around the back just as with the palm trees in that.
It's very artsy. It reminds me of
the Art Fest in Fort Myers.
yeah, it reminds me of the Art Fest 5K and also the Key West ones that are so colorful in a beach town-esque type way.
It's
Yeah.
true to size and so soft.
And
Yeah.
very breathable.
Long sleeve. This was long sleeve, whereas the
Yeah.
others were
Well,
short.
And the reason why they said they do that is so that you feel like you're not getting the same shirt if you're doing multiple races during the weekend.
Yeah.
So if you're doing two races,
Yeah.
they wanted to give you two different
Sure.
types.
Yeah. So you got one for the half and one for the 7K. Did you all get a bonus shirt, like a challenge shirt, or no?
No.
No.
This was the medal. This is 2022's.
For the half marathon and
For half.
marathon, which is all yellow, very mimicky of the medal with the sun and the ocean.
And then 2023.
Oh, look at this 2023. What is that? Like a green? Like a seafoam green?
In it itself, but it's the lighting. It's actually like a grayish blue,
Oh, like a grayish blue. And then the artwork is that
like a big wave coming up.
like an ocean color blue and then big beach in yellow. Nice.
It's nice that each year the
Shirts are,
shirts kind of mimic part of the pattern of the medal.
yes, that's how they're
Like
connected. That's great. Did you all wear your medals to your post-race meal celebration?
Let's talk about that. In previous years, we finished the race and we got a very nice boxed meal that had a gourmet sandwich, a gourmet cookie, and some chips. And then we got a bowl of hot seafood gumbo.
Oh, gumbo.
It was delicious.
This was all provided at the race finish?
Yes.
In the past years.
This year it was different. I don't know what they did, but this year they had a hot plate. So they had pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you wanted red or white, you either got your pasta with red sauce or Alfredo sauce. You could have chicken. Okay. So you had a meat sauce with your noodles, or you had the Alfredo sauce with the chicken, and then it was a cookie, a breadstick, a hot breadstick, and then a grandma's cookie, like 2 in a pack. And then, of course, because we had our 2 beer tickets from the 7K and our 2 tickets, but we didn't open any of the beers because I had Eric, because we finished first. And I sent him up to the bar to get the Bloody Marys so that when Dawn and JoJo and Susie finished, we had our Bloody Marys to toast Darlene. And I took a picture of the Bloody Mary with the medal out by the beach, but when they came through. So we were drinking those. And then I have one of those bags that folds up. I knew we were getting all the beer. So he got
Wait a minute. Yeah, so the beer, it wasn't from the tap. It was in cans.
No, it was from a can, and they didn't open it. They
Smart.
It's beneficial for us because most races, they'll open it up and you got to drink it there. You don't want to take it off property. They didn't open up any of our cans. So we got 3. They had 4 different kinds, and we ended up with 3 because they ran out. We put them all in my little bag that I had stuffed in my pocket, and we put them in the car and the cooler so that we could consume them when we got home. I believe I put in your basket the carnival one and the pineapple wheat.
And the pine is delicious.
The pineapple wheat good too.
It is.
They're both very delicious.
Okay. It's the Lie Smack IPA. That's the pineapple one?
No, I take that back. It was a Little Shack. I'm sorry. I didn't give her a pineapple one.
No pineapple? Now I'm upset. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. So this is the Little Smack IPA. You're trying to convert me. We're open to that, so it's fine.
The other one was geared towards Mardi Gras that was coming up.
Carnival Cake Ale.
And that one was delicious also.
Wait, it's wrong. Yeah.
There you go. So you got the king cake on the front. Fat Tuesday was coming up.
Yay. Oh,
so those were 2 of the beers that we got at the race.
Thank you for bringing them
back.
I'm not going to open them until Dana gets home from his work trip, which is why he couldn't be a part of our Runcation recap. But how did you enjoy the post-race party? It was good.
We were a little sad that we had the right. So we were eating fast because knowing that also we had the late checkout that we might have stretched just a little bit.
Hilton is very good about that, though.
Well, what's nice too about Hilton is they text you, how was your stay? So I got the text about the checkout and I'm like, we literally just finished the race. We're going to get there as quickly as we can. They were like, let us know when you're walking out. I text them when we were walking out to load the stuff up in the car. So they were very accommodatable, although they might have wanted us out a little bit earlier. But
it's all right. They have to, I know they have to get the room, they have to turn over the rooms and get them clean and ready. And that's, but.
Right. And I understand that.
They're very accommodating.
Like,
they're good.
Really were.
Mm-hmm. It was good. So you had fun?
We
tried our best.
So post meal was great and the camaraderie was great. We did our little pictures with Darlene and everything. The way they had it set up, they had the line flowed very fluidly. They had multiple areas where you could get the beer. Mm-hmm. So that was very well planned out. The hangout is a super cool hangout. It's super, super cool. They had a band playing. Okay. They had like cool stuff out. They had cool artwork. It just was just really, I would love to be there and been able to hang out like more. And maybe next year we can plan that. We just had a lot
literally hang out more. Is that the thing I can't do? I don't know. I can't do the surf's up. Surf's up, dude. Surf's up. Wait. Okay.
No, it's super, super cool place. If you lived there, I could totally see where you could just hang out and just have a blast.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I love that you described so well the laid back atmosphere. It doesn't sound like there was any pressure on the course. Sounds like it was well manned, organized, and very secure and safe. It sounds like the packet pickup was a breeze, the party, the shirts, the medals. It sounds like you would recommend doing it. Obviously, you've done it multiple times. Eric, would you do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Speaking of racing again. What's next on the horizon for this Runcation Nation Cup?
We have the Cape Coral Donut Dash coming up at
The end of March.
Yes.
Yes.
The 29th. I sent you the link.
Okay.
It'd be really nice if you and Dana could maybe be able to do a local event. I know your schedules are tight.
He's still recovering from his injury, but I'll see if I can get him to come out and cheer us on.
That would be awesome. And it does benefit the Cape Coral Police Department, so that's where you can get him.
I think it was, what did you say that was, what I read is the Police Athletic League?
Yes, ma'am.
And their chief, Tony Sizemore, is just an advocate for the Police Athletic League and what it does for the community. That's a great local race.
It's something that I support. That's where I reside.
Good cause.
And the donuts are going to be protein packed, believe it or not. Okay, donuts on course, donuts after, and with protein.
We'll see how many of Dana's brethren in blue will partake. Maybe.
Brooklyn is going to come with us and do that race with us also.
Yay!
That'll be the second race.
I have my donut compression socks ready.
I saw pictures. Donut compression socks. I believe Dana might have donut socks to cheer us on, but I will consult with him.
The other thing we have, I'm old school.
You have a list. You have a written list.
I have a calendar that I write on.
A written calendar. You got to have it. You got to.
I'm old school.
You got to have it so you're organized. Everybody is different, like with training plans and whatnot.
March we have the Donut Dash, and then in April, my favorite race events, which is another outfit that I just love their races.
That's the name of the organization.
My favorite race events. Their packet pickup is a breeze. Everything is in a nice closed envelope or a nice closed bag with your name on it.
You're in, you're out.
Yep. And fun. They just have the energy in all of their races. It's so much fun. I have not done one of theirs in Bradenton yet. They have a half marathon called Running for the Fishes.
If you're going to be in Bradenton, if you haven't been to Motorworks Brewing, you should definitely visit. Just a tip for the Bradenton area.
Other than that, we really
don't look at a whole lot.
No, to be honest with you, there's probably a couple little local 5Ks here and there that we'll jump on.
I hear things happening in the future.
August is my Bridge of Gods, and it's also a 10-year anniversary. It's up in Cascade,
Oregon.
Me and JoJo and Susie did that race, and I was supposed to go. It was my birthday, because every birthday I do something out of my comfort zone, hence the triathlon one year.
No.
And due to some personal things,
you couldn't go, just like me with Big Beach.
I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So certain race directors and events, you can defer, some you can't, some it's the director's discretion. So I sought out the director, wrote a nice letter, explained my situation. They allowed me to defer and gave me a credit code. Once that race was over and they posted the new race, I could sign up for it again with the credit code. Then I was registered for this.
Yeah.
So, but again, everything happens for a reason. It's now going to be an anniversary race.
Yep.
When there's an anniversary race, it's usually a little more grander, a little more.
They're trying to pull out all the stops. Make it great.
When she first signed up for that, I wasn't running at that point.
And he's going to go with me. It'll be our first flight out of town vacation. And we decided that race also, we're going to make it a scenic race. It's not going to be a crazy, because you run over this iconic steel bridge that it's just gorgeous. If you Google the Bridge of God, the half marathon race, the scenery pictures are just absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
And then my understanding from the girls, in the middle of the race, there's some steps you have to conquer part of the mountain.
Like a hill?
Yeah. So we've decided that we're going to do Big Beach and we're just going to enjoy our race. And if we want to run, we're going to run. When we want to walk, we're going to walk. We're just going to enjoy the elements around us with that gorgeous scenery they provide up there.
Make it a true runcation.
But I'm thinking maybe the Bradenton one, we might see what we got in the tank.
Yeah.
Tell them to have our own races and see.
That's what we did for Fort Lauderdale for the A1A back in January of 2020. It was a PR for Dana, and I was so proud of him. And he got to have Irish whiskey in his kilt, You never know what the Bridge of the Gods will have for you. We would love for you to come back and recap that on the show after you experience it, if you will. In the meantime, how can the Runcation Nation get in touch or connect with you all?
We're on the Runcation Nation Facebook page. I haven't posted pictures in a little bit, so I need to get back in a regular.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be like a Rob. I miss Rob's pictures so much.
Rob Nadeau, OG member of the Runcation Nation that took beautiful photographs.
He was an OTR driver, and wherever he would stop on his travels of his job,
long haul trucking,
he'd go for a run and take all these beautiful pictures and then post them and then get back in his truck. He was amazing.
He was.
But yeah, Eric is Eric Million on his Instagram and Million Floors LLC.
We will link to all of that in the show notes and all of the links that you have mentioned that you will pass on to me, so I can post those for everybody to learn more about the Big Beach Marathon weekend, and maybe they can join us for our makeup race in 2026. I really can't wait to accomplish, explore, and indulge with you all really soon.
That would be absolutely fabulous.
That's a wrap. So thank you for joining us on your long run, your commute to work, around the house, wherever you are. I'm your host, Amy.
And I'm your co-host, Dana.
Stay safe and well, and we will accomplish, explore, and indulge with you really soon. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Run, Eat, Drink podcast. We're having another great year thanks to your support. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Run, Eat, Drink Podcast. And on Twitter, we're Run, Eat, Drink Pod. You can also give us a call at 941-677-2733 or send us an email at info@runeatdrink.net. Visit our website at runeatdrink.net and click on the subscribe link so you don't miss a minute. Find out how you can support the show at patreon.com/runeatdrinkpodcast. Accomplish, explore, and indulge right along with us. We'll talk to you next time.